Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a bracelet today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that came in the September 2025 Potomac Beads Treasure Edition subscription box called Ocean Vault. I'll put a link in the description box below to the page on the Potomac Beads website where you can go and read about both of their subscription boxes and sign up if it's something that you're interested in. I made this bracelet using the 4mm Montana colored bicones that came in the box, and the 8/0 seed beads that came in the box, and then some 11/0 and 15/0 seed beads from my stash in dark oak galvanized silver. And I'm going to make another one today using the other color of bicones that came in the box. These are opaque fern AB is the color on these. And then I have the 8/0s that came in the box. The color is silver lined aqua. They are the Azuki seed beads, yeah. And then I have some Miyuki seed beads from my stash, a dark oak galvanized silver, and 11/0s and 15/0s. And I have a toggle clasp and a couple of wire guardians and a couple of 6mm jump rings. And I'll be using I've got a size 12 beading needle, and I'm going to be using my 6-pound fire line in smoke. And of course I'll be using my scissors to cut my fire line and my pliers to put my clasp on at the end. I think that's everything. I'll try to find links and put links to everything I'm using that didn't come in the box in the description box below. So hold on, I'll get some of this out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, I've got some of my beads out here now. I've got my bicones, my 15/0s, my 8/0s, and my 11/0s. And I've got my needle threaded, and I've got a stop bead, and I'm leaving about a 10-inch tail so I can use that to put my wire guardian on when I'm done. So, locate where my needle went. There it is. I'm going to pick up 3 8/0s. I'm going to zoom in here. One of my, an 11/0. So I've got 3 8/0s and an 11/0, one bicone, one 11/0, one bicone, one 11/0, now I'm going to pick up 3 more 8/0s, an 11/0, bicone, an 11/0, bicone, and an 11/0. So I've got 3 8/0s, an 11/0 bicone, 11/0 bicone, 11/0, 3 more 8/0s, an 11/0 bicone, 11/0 bicone, 11/0. I'm going to sew back around all these again. Make sure not to miss any beads. And I'm going to sew till I get past my stop bead. Now I'm going to sew until I come out my first bicone. I'm coming out of that first bicone past my stop bead. I'm going to pick up 3 15-ohs. And I think that's an 11-oh that got in my 15-ohs. 3 15-ohs. I'm going to skip that 11-oh in between my bicones, and I'm going to go into the next bicone. I think I need to zoom in a little bit more. And put them around that 11-oh like that. And I went through the bicone and the 11-oh. Now I'm going to go into that first 8-oh. And I'm going to pick up a 15-oh. Now I'm going to skip that middle 8-oh and go into the third one. I'll make sure that 15-oh pops in between those 8-ohs there. I'll pull it tight so that it'll bring those 2 8-ohs on the sides together. Now I'm going to go into this 11-oh in this bicone. And I'm going to pick up 3 15-ohs. And I'm going to skip that 11-oh between the bicones and go into the next bicone. I'm going to go on into that 11-oh. Pull that down over that 11-oh like that. Now I'm going to get my tail thread out of the way here. I'm going to go into that first 8-oh. I'm going to pick up another 15-oh. I'm going to skip that middle 8-oh and go into the third one. I'm going to go on into that 11-oh. I'm going to pop that 15-oh between those 8-ohs under the middle 8-oh and between the 2 on the sides, and pull tight so that it'll bring the 2 on the sides together. Now I'm going to sew back around all this again. I'm going to sew into this bicone and up into that first 15-oh. I'm going to skip that middle 15-oh and go into the third 15-oh, on into the bicone and on into the 11-oh. Make sure my thread lands in under that middle 15-oh that I skipped, so that it'll kind of pop up like that. Now I'm going to go into this 8-oh, and I'm going to sew into that 15-oh between the 8-ohs and on into that third 8-oh. I think I'm going to have to go into the 15-oh and then the 8-oh separately, and I think I still need to zoom in. Afraid if I zoom in too much I'll blur, but maybe I won't. So I'm going in that 8-oh and the 15-oh. And I'm going to go into that third 8/0 and on into that 11/0 in the bicone in the first 15/0 after the bicone. Now I'm going to skip that middle 15/0 and go into the one on the other side. And then on into the bicone. And the 11/0. Make sure that thread goes under the 15/0 so that it'll pop out. Now I'm going to push my stop bead out of the way here. I'm going to go into the 8/0 and the 15/0. And the 8/0, the third 8/0 there, and the 11/0. And the reason I'm going in that 15/0 instead of going around the 8/0s is because it kind of anchors that 15/0 in place better. If I don't do that, sometimes the 15/0 will like pop up, but this will keep it in there better. Now I'm going to sew until I'm coming out of this 8/0 down here. So I'm going to go into this bicone, and at this point you can go through however you want to. Here you can either go around these three 15/0s or that 11/0 in between the bicones. I think I'll do the 11/0 in between the bicones, but it doesn't really matter. Into the bicone and into the 11/0. Now I'm going to go into this 8/0. Just the 8/0. And then I'm going to go into this 8/0 here. And that's my first little unit, and I know that's an awful lot of sewing around to do, but if you don't do that, it won't keep its shape like I want it to. It'll kind of be floppy. If you sew around a lot like that, it'll keep its shape better. So now I'm going to make another one. So I've already got one 8/0 here, so I'm going to pick up an 8/0 and an 11/0 and a bicone and an 11/0 and a bicone and an 11/0. And now I'm going to pick up 3 8/0s and an 11/0. And then a bicone and an 11/0 and a bicone and an 11/0 and one 8/0. I'm going to go in the other side of the 8/0 that I'm coming out of. I was coming out the top of it. I'm going to go on the bottom. Like that. Now I'm going to sew around all this again. Just making sure not to miss any beads. I'm going to keep sewing until I go past my bead that I'm connecting to. So I sewed through all those and I'm coming out of that connecting 8-0 there. Now I'm going to go into this 8-0, this 11-0, and the bicone. Now I'm going to pick up 3 15-0s. I'm going to skip that 11-0 and go into the next bicone. On into the 11-0 on the other side of the bicone. Sometimes, well, that landed okay. Sometimes if they don't land, they get twisted. You have to kind of pull them out and pull them back in, but that one landed okay. Now I'm going to go into this first 8-0. I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and go into the third 8-0, skipping that one in the middle. Make sure my 15-0 pops down and under that middle 8-0 in between the two on the sides. Now I'm going to go into the 11-0 and the bicone. I'll pick up 3 more 15-0s. I'm going to skip that 11-0 and go into the bicone and on into the 11-0 and on into the 8-0. I'm going to go, I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and skip that connecting 8-0 and go into the next 8-0, the third one there. I'm going to go on into that 11-0. Make sure that 15-0 pops down in there where I want it to. Now I'm going to go into this bicone in the first 15-0. I'm going to skip that middle 15-0 and go into the 15-0 on the other side of it and the bicone, the 11-0 on the other side of the bicone. Make sure my middle 15-0 pops up there. Now I'm going to go into the 8-0 and the 15-0. And then the 8-0 on the other side of the 15-0 there, and the 11-0, skipping that middle 8-0. And on up into that 11-0 if I can get in it there. There we go. And I'm going to go into the bicone in the first 15-0. I'm going to skip that middle 15-0 and go into the 15-0 on the other side of it, in the bicone and the 11-0. so my 15 in the middle will stick up. Now I'm going to go into the 8/0 and the 15 between the 8/0s. Then the 8/0 on the other side of the 15/0. And the 11/0. And then I'm going to sew till I'm coming out of this 8/0 down here. So I'm going to go into the bicone. And the 11/0 between the bicones, I think. Yeah, that one's too hard to get into. I'm going to go around the 15/0s this time. I'm just going to go around these 3 15/0s here. Into the bicone and the 11/0. Into this first 8/0. And then up here into this 8/0. That's my second unit. Now I'll do one more and then I'll do the rest of them off camera. So I'm going to pick up an 8/0, an 11/0, a bicone, an 11/0, bicone, an 11/0, then 3 8/0s, and an 11/0, and then a bicone, an 11/0, a bicone, an 11/0, and 1 8/0. So I've got an 8/0, an 11/0, bicone, 11/0, bicone, 11/0, 3 8/0s, 11/0, bicone, 11/0, bicone, 11/0, and 1 8/0. I'm going to go on the other side of this 8/0 I'm coming out of. I'm going to sew around all this again. Till I get past my stop bead. Or not my stop bead, my bead that I'm connecting to. So I'm coming through that connecting bead there. Now I'm going to go into the 8/0, the 11/0, and the bicone. I pick up 3 15/0s. I'm going to skip that 11/0 in the middle of the bicones and go into the other 11/0, and I think I missed that 11/0 there. Yeah, there's a thread under that 11/0. When I went around, I didn't get through that 11/0, so hold on, let me take this out and I'll be back. Okay, I took all that out and went back around everything again. That's what happens when I get in too big a hurry. I missed a bead. So I'm coming out of this bicone here. So I'm going to pick up 3 15-ohs. Skip that middle 11-oh and go into the bicone. The 11 on the other side of the bicone. I'm going to go into the first 8-oh. Pick up a 15-oh. Skip that middle 8-oh and go into the third one. On into the 11-oh. Make sure that 15-oh pops down there between my 8-ohs. I know it's kind of hard to see because those beads are so shiny. Now I'm going to go up into this bicone. Pick up 3 more 15-ohs. Skip that 11-oh between the bicones and go into the bicone and the 11-oh. And I'm going to go on into that 8-oh. Now I'm going to pick up a 15-oh and skip that connecting 8-oh and go into the one on the other side. And the 11-oh on the other side of it. Pop that 15-oh down in there between my 8-ohs. Now I'm going to go into the bicone. The first 15-oh. I'm going to skip that middle 15-oh and go into the 15-oh on the other side of it, the bicone, the 11-oh. I think I'm going to go on into that 8-oh this time because it's going to let me. Pull that tight so my little bead in the middle sticks up. Now I'm going to go into the 15-oh. The 8-oh on the other side of the 15-oh, and the 11-oh on the other side of the 8-oh. And I'm going to go into the bicone, and the first 15-oh of those 3. Let's skip that middle 15-oh and go into the 15-oh on the other side of it, the bicone, and the 11-oh on the other side of the bicone. I'm going to go into the 8-oh and the 15-oh. And the 8-oh on the, skipping that middle 8-oh, the connecting one, going to the 8-oh on the other side, and the 11-oh on the other side of it. And now I'm going to sew until I'm coming out of this 8-oh down here. I'm going to go into the bicone. And I'll go around the 3/15 again. And into the bicone and the 11/0. Into the first 8/0. And then up in here into this 8/0. That's my third unit. I'm gonna keep doing this until I get the length that I want. On this other bracelet I made 10 units, and it came with the clasp and everything, it came to exactly 7.5 inches, which is what I usually make bracelets. Of course, if you need a smaller bracelet, you can leave off a unit. If you need a bigger bracelet, you can do more units, but I'm going to do a total of 10. And then when I get back, we'll put on one side of the wire guardian. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got my 10 units made here now, and now I'm going to put on my wire guardian. So I'm coming out of this 8/0 at the end here, and I'm going to pick up an 11/0 and an 8/0 in my wire guardian. Go down the other channel of the wire guardian, back into the 8/0. Hold my finger over the wire guardian so the thread will land in the channel. And pick up another 11/0. And I'm going to go on the other side of this 8/0 that I started in. That. I'm going to go around all that again. Go into the 11/0 and the 8/0 and the wire guardian. Back down the other channel of the wire guardian, back into the 8/0. Hold my finger over the wire guardian. Back down the other 11/0 on the other side. Back into this 8/0 that I'm connecting to. Now I'm going to go all around all that again, and then I'm going to end off my thread, do 3 half hitch knots, and then I'll go ahead and put the clasp on. And when I get back, we'll see what I've got. So I'll be back. Okay, there are my bracelets made with some of the beads that came in the September 2025 Potomac Beads Treasure Edition subscription box called Ocean Vault. This one seems to have come out a little bit smaller than this one. I must have used tighter tension on it or something, because I made the same amount of units. I'll put this one together, bring it up closer so you can see it better. It's really not hard to do at all. It just takes a little bit of time going around all those units, going around each unit all those times, but it's kind of necessary for it to keep its shape. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description box below to the page on the Potomac Beads website, so you can go and read about both of their subscription boxes and sign up if it's something that you're interested in. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry and some grab bags of extra beads that I have. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.